Frequencies, as we know, are measured in the unit hertz. 1 hertz means there is 1 vibration in 1 second, and 60 hertz means there are 60 vibrations in 1 second. So the lower the vibrational frequency, the more destructive or negative the energy is. Generally, our thoughts and emotions are not constant, as we know. So at any given time, typically, we bounce between 3 or 4 levels. So briefly, we will go through the 17 levels. So we'll begin with 1 to 20 Hz. 1 to 20 Hz is the frequency range for shame. It is considered the lowest level of emotion and consciousness. Someone that experiences shame has low self-esteem and is humiliated and paranoid. In short, he or she is feeling miserable. If people are left vibrating at this level for a prolonged amount of time, their moral values will be disrupted or even destroyed, turning them into moral extremists, terrorists, serial killers, and sexual offenders, among others. Next, 30 Hz. 30 Hz is the frequency of guilt, dominated by the feeling of blaming oneself can progress to shame and cause further destruction. 50 Hz is the frequency for apathy, a feeling of hopelessness and helplessness. One is actually reaching out for help from others but doesn't know how to express it. We have 75 Hz, which is the frequency for grief. This frequency is dominated by regret, loss, and sadness, often manifesting as depression. It is considered a higher level of apathy since we feel something with some energy despite being dominated by negative feelings. We have 100 Hz, which is a frequency for fear. It is centered around worry and anxiety. Various stimuli can cause fear, like fearing rejection, failure, challenges, and so on. We have 125 Hz, which is a frequency for desire. This frequency is centered around greed and sometimes addiction. At this energy level, we pursue our ambitions, sometimes unhealthy, leading to the feeling of never being satisfied. We have 150 Hz, which is the frequency of anger. Hurt is the main emotion at this energy level, which often produces aggression. Anger can also express itself as frustration and resentment. We have 175 Hz, which is the frequency or energy level for pride. This is the highest level of destructive energy, and while it's no longer as destructive as the frequencies below it, pride is dependent on external positions and conditions. So it is fragile and you can easily move down to lower frequencies when these external conditions are no longer there. Pride often produces arrogance and denial and can cause one to be too demanding to oneself and others. We have 200 Hz, which is the frequency for courage. This is the first of the positive or the say creative energy levels. People with this frequency level will view life as exciting and full of opportunities. In short, this is the level when one starts to feel empowerment, marking the active pursuit of growth, and the person is now able to act to deal with various situations and challenges accordingly. We have 250 Hz, which is the frequency for neutrality. Neutral, as in the sense of you have the sense of trust and stability. People with this level of emotional energy are able to see things objectively in a non-judgmental way. This energy level marks the beginning of inner confidence. People here can stay happy in an objective way without being attached to possessions and situations. When a situation is not as expected, people in this energy frequency can simply settle for something else. We have 310 Hz, which is the frequency for willingness. In this willingness energy level, one is open to trying new things, which often leads to rapid acceleration of growth in various areas. Many people in this energy level perform very well in their careers since they can channel their energy into the best way possible and overcome their inner resistance in achieving growth. We have 350 Hz. This is the frequency for acceptance. At this level, people will start accepting that they are the ones responsible and in control of their own destinies. At this level, we are now aware of how to discern limiting beliefs and how to position ourselves above limiting situations and conditions. We have 400 Hz. This is the frequency for reason. This level is marked with rationality and intelligence, and the individual is able to process information objectively to reach conclusions. The individual leads a meaningful life. But it is possible to fall into the trap of over-rationalizing from time to time. We have 500 Hz. This is the frequency of love. Unconditional love, which is love without motive, truly from the heart, and it is only after this stage that one is capable of finding true happiness. We have 540 Hz, which is the frequency for joy. The individual has achieved an inner joy that can radiate to produce notable effects on others. At this level, the individual has merged with the divine consciousness. And finally, we have 700 to 1000 Hz, which is the frequency for enlightenment. It is known as the pinnacle of consciousness. Only the greatest people of history, we have the Buddha, we have Yeshua HaMashiach, the Krishna, have achieved this emotional energy level. So the question is, how can you measure or how can you know your vibrational frequency? Although it is difficult to accurately measure where you are at on the map of consciousness, one effective approach is to observe how you think and what is your emotion when you are under pressure. If you tend to be afraid when under pressure, then most likely you are currently around the fear, that's 100 Hz stage. If on the other side you tend to become aggressive, then most likely you are around the anger, 150 Hz. We tend to show our true selves under pressure. Objectively observe yourself, and by learning about your current emotional energy, you can train yourself to transcend your current level. Also remember that most of us tend to bounce between 3 or 4 levels up and down, as our emotional states are rarely stagnant. I hope this tutorial actually helps you, and I would love to get comments and suggestions, contributions or questions, objections from you. This is actually my personal study and research on how the human behave based on their thoughts and emotions. You can as well suggest a tutorial you think I can bring based on frequency, audio production, and mixing, mastering, and other areas of production. Thank you so much, and see you next time.